Hello, and could someone explain to me why my world is now 139 megabytes when the last time I loaded it, it was 140 megabytes? I don't know. So welcome back to another exciting episode of An Old Man Builds a Long and Painful Sugarcane Farm, where hopefully today we'll see the finale. And without any further ado, I'm going to fall off and miss where I want to go, and then get stuck underwater and be generally ruining things. Right. So I think I have gathered most of the resources I needed. I think I made a slight miscalculation on the number of these stone blocks I needed, though. I'm fully aware of the fact that when I run out of, I'm going to run out of path and just fall down. Yes. But I think everything in terms of cobblestone, wood, iron, redstone. I can't even pick that up because my inventory is full of stuff. So I need to build that up and that up, that up, that up. And this is where I also then need to make a better path, don't I? Yeah, I am now wasting the very blocks which I said I think I'm short of. So that's clever, isn't it? Right, I now need to go and make observers. For which I will be needing a lot of stone. No carrots. I don't know why I have carrots on. Oh yes, it's because that evil monster has been jumping all over my crops. Evil. Okay, so I've got plenty of... Oh, I don't need glow ink. Do need... No, don't need wood. Don't even need wood. So what I need initially is 93 redstone. So that's that. That's 93 redstone. I need the same again with quartz. I need that. No, it's 2 redstone, so I need more redstone. Right, so I now should be able to build exactly 93 observers. So there we go, with a bit of redstone left. Now if I get another 93 redstone, I can then do the actual laying of the redstone wires, which will be really useful. Because that will then activate this side of the redstone farm, of the sugarcane farm. Before I do that, though, I am going to harvest all the sugarcane. And that should all get collected by sugarcane, by the minecart. I need to get back on top. Yes, you can see it's just hoovered them all up. It's not going to get the ones that landed on top, but we're going to stop them from landing on top anyway. So now, logically, there's a load of sugarcane in here. Or rather, there should be. Why is there not? What have I missed? Why are you not emptying? Hopper minecart. Do I need it to have an extended set of hoppers? Be able to grab it out faster? I think I probably do. Worry about that in a minute though. Get the observers going. I seem to remember I lay the observers from behind, don't I? I do indeed, yes. Doing my best not to fall off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Oh, and I fell off. It fell over. No. So I presume this will gradually fill up with more, but I need to have extra hoppers here, maybe a longer line of hoppers to grab it out of the minecart faster. I was clever enough with redstone, I build one of those automatic minecart unloaders where it just stops, holds your minecart until it's empty, but that involves some use of comparators, and I am terrible with comparators. This should now work. Now, I'm fully aware of the fact that you don't need this many observers. You can have the observers spaced, what, 30 blocks apart, if necessary. But it makes the production of the sugarcane slower, because you are waiting for the one specific... If you've got them spaced far apart, you're waiting for the one specific observer to get to height of 2. Now, it may do that immediately, at the point where there's no other sugarcane grown, or all the other sugarcane may have grown until that one grows. In both of those extremes, it's inefficient operation. Whereas on this current setup, any of them get to the right height and they activate. Like, you can do that. And if this one activates, they all break at ground level, just leaving those left. So it's the most efficient in terms of production, because you cannot overproduce. So you cannot underproduce. As soon as any of them reach that optimal height, that's it. It breaks them. Right then. So before I build to the other side now then, I need to modify the collection system, because it's obviously not working as well as I hoped it would. We'll build a few more. I can never remember where these things are. We'll build a few more hoppers, shall we? Why have I got dirt? Where did the dirt come from? I shouldn't have dirt. What did I miss? Okay, we'll worry about that in a minute. First thing to worry about is you can have all that sugarcane. Now, I would rather use silk tub. Oh, didn't mean to press that. I think it's clear that having just 2 powered rails parallel to each other is enough. So that's not the issue. Trying to build while swimming is a pain in the bum bum. So I should now have 3 times the collection power. More buildy blocks. Try not to get killed by any drowns while I'm doing this. Let's sleep because I don't want Endermen to spawn in and break my build, as we've already seen them do. Excuse me. Bit of a phlegmy throat there. Oh, what are you doing here? Would you like to enjoy the lava bath? No. Has no one told you that spitting is a disgusting habit? Okay, so I'll do that. Need some cobblestone temporarily, just so that I can access where I need to build. So, need a trapdoor really. But yeah, make some trapdoors. But you got trapdoors. I can use them at the bottom of that hole. Sorry, if this is your first time watching, that reference will make no sense. That's better. Can now get to exactly where I need to get to. I'm going to put these here, just in case I need to actually modify this further, and this will not future-proof, but help me make it easier to extend that bit. So I could have 2 levers, because I'm English and it's pronounced lever. Yeah, so that should now do it. So let us now put the hoppery minecart on. Remove all sugarcane. And then drop all the sugarcane. See how long it takes to be hoovered up and then deposited. Still a bit slow. I'm not sure I like where this is going, because where it's going is research. Yeah, I'm not. I need a faster collection system for minecarts then, or I need... Yeah. Right. More hoppers. Wood. I mean, will that work? If I do that, if I do like a staggered hoppery system, I mean, that doesn't even make any sense to anyone trying to work out what my brain in its adult state thinks I mean. But another 8 hoppers. And let's make another 8 hoppers. 7, because we ran out of iron. I'm beginning to learn where the iron is. Isn't that ironic? Oh, 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 I'm so funny. Ain't I funny? How much iron is here now? Lots of iron. And some empty buckets. Right, before I go about my madcap collection system then. I will just empty the farm of iron. That's not a farm. It's a smelter. That's iron, isn't it? Yes. Du, 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 du. Du, du, du. Du. Got a fair amount of iron. I'm not struggling for iron right now. What we are struggling for is a working collection system. So, I think something I can do, instead of carrying on the way we are, am I on Silky Touch? I am indeed on Silky Touch. Good, because you need to get collectified. You... I don't know what happened there. Oh, I came out of my trapdoory session. Finding Dory. Oh, and I block-picked my way out of block-picky. So, let's get rid of you. Well, not all the sugarcane. Where did the sugarcane go? I keep coming out of it. So if I do this staggered now, and get rid of this section of powered rail, and replace it with hoppers, and change over to this side. So then we'll have that powered. I don't suppose it really needs to come back this way again because we've only got 5 left, haven't we? So that should do it now. I'm supposed to be on... block pick the wrong one. Because I'm stupid. I'm definitely going to need more stone now. Right, so rail. Powered rail. Oh, this is tedious. Why can I never remember where anything is? Need to shift click. So I'm an idiot. So, where has all the rail gone? I hope it has ended up. Yes, it would appear to have ended up there, which is good. Well, where did it end up? How did I... Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I'm missing 2 now. Is it because I've still got 2 powered? No. I've just managed to lose 2 rails somehow. So let's go and sleep. Get more rail. That's a bit of a game changer. I forgot I'd already made some observers. Very interesting, Mr. Bond. So if I go underground, overground, wombling free, the Wimbles of Wimbledon, commonly. So I need to put a lever here. So it's quite a long collection system now. And there's a long gap as well, isn't there? So it should slow down a fair amount. Because that's quite a long stretch for it to make. So let's chuck a load of sugarcane back in now. See what it does. Why is that only 2 still? Don't want to have to make a proper loader and loader. But I don't know how. That's not working very well at all, is it? But hold on a second. Is there a chance that I am actually causing backlog? Yes, there is. I have actually caused A lot of the... No, 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 no. I have caused... Yes, my design is terrible. I need to revert to my original parallel design. Because, yeah, I am causing my hoppers to not activate. Hmm. 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 I feel like the more and more I go around in circles doing this, the more the worserist I am making it. So I need rid of you, 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 rid of you. Room rid of you. Bit concerning that there's rotten flesh appearing in all this. Right, let's let everything finish sinking and then floating back up. Right, that is now everything recollected again. What I need now are some hoppers. Hmm. Tell you what, we'll see how that gets on like that. Because that's easier than redoing all the redstone again. Oh, dearie my. So, in my never-ending quest for... What do you call it? Yeah, my never-ending quest for symmetry, I have ended up becoming very asymmetric. Slightly more symmetric than I was before. But yeah, there's a lot of powered rails adjacent to each other now, which shouldn't be. Yeah, so now I've lost so many rails now, they're bound to be... Empty out that system at least. Right, please now be fast enough collecting. Yes, there we go. You're off. And once again, let us drop some sugarcane into the system and see what happens. Oh, it's going. I mean, not ideal, but faster than before. Yeah, I mean, we're getting there. It grabbed 18 then. Is it just going to grab 18 now? Every single time? Each number goes up by 6. Is it going to be 19? Is it going to be 19, 18, 18? Oh, no. It grabbed 22 then. Sorry, 20 then. Just can't help but feel that maybe an extra 2 hoppers would do it. Do it. Because there should be nothing left in these hoppers now. I mean, I'm fighting a losing cause here, aren't I? Because really what I need to do is I need to work out how to make an automatic unloader restarter system. So I'll leave that for another episode. In the meantime, I'm going to sleep. And well, I'm not going to sleep because it won't let me. But in the meantime, I will just build the other half of the sugarcane farm because that's what I know. I can do that bit. Yeah, because I'm an idiot. So I will not need that for now. No. So you can go back in the wood stock. Don't know how I got rotten flesh in there. I have a suspected idea. Right, so put away that. Get a load of this. Do the buildy bit first. Buildy bit. Doing the buildy bit first. Oh, I could eat a Cornish pasty right now. I was away for the weekend. I was out with my son over the weekend. And in order to stave off the inevitable, Dad, I'm hungry, I bought 2 packs of Cornish pasties from Morrison's. Did I buy them? I didn't buy them from Morrison's. I bought them from a different shop, actually. I think it was Tesco. I don't know. Do you know what? All these supermarket cheap Cornish pasty 4-packs that cost £2.50, they're all the same pasty made in the same factory. I challenge anyone to detect even the slightest difference. They come in the same shape punnet. They're then plastic wrapped, and the supermarket puts their own label on the plastic wrap. But they're all the same things from the same factory. They taste identical, they look identical, they smell identical, they're in the same packaging. The only thing that changes is the supermarket. So yes, it doesn't matter where you buy your 4-pack of Cornish pasties for £2.50 from. The supermarkets are all the same: Asda, Tesco, Morrison's, Sainsbury's, except probably Sainsbury's charge you an extra 30p for them because that's what they do. So that was something I learned when I was that was my first brutal understanding of how capitalism works. Was I worked in a sandwich factory in 1997. It was my first ever paid job, and my interview was very interesting because a friend said, "Oh yeah, I work at the sandwich factory, and at the time I was at sixth form. You could probably call that college these days, except not college in the American way, college in the British way. But anyway, I was at sixth form, which is where you do your A levels, which is before you go to university. And I just needed money. I desperately needed money. And I had a friend I knew who'd got this job in a sandwich factory, and he was like, yeah, I can get you an interview at a sandwich factory. I was like, oh, great. Put in a good word for me. You know, completely unaware about what was going to happen to me right now. So I applied for the job, and I got an interview, and I was greeted on the front desk by this lovely employment officer called Jenny Gessie. And yeah, she was a lovely woman, and the interview went this way. It's like, so you're Ronnie, are you? And you're looking for a job to work with us here at Buckingham Foods. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I've got a friend who works here, Martin. He says it's a great job to have. And she was like, yeah. So let me show you where you're going to be working. Let me show you where you are going to be working. There were no questions. There was no entry exam. There was no acceptance. It was basically, we are so desperate for staff that we will just take anyone who can spell their own name and stand up for 7 hours. That was basic. I didn't realise that was what was happening at the time, but basically my interview was them saying, thank God we've found another human robot who can stand here and put cucumber on a slice of bread for 7 hours. And that was basically what my job was. I mean, not literally cucumber. It was cucumber, or it was like, yeah, that was how it worked. Like we had you had a conveyor belt where at one end there was a woman who would put and I say woman advised actually, because this factory had, I think, 6 or 7 conveyor belts running, and every single one of those conveyor belts at the front end where the bread went on a conveyor belt was always a woman. So the conveyor belt was a woman. She got a loaf of bread, a pre-sliced loaf of bread was piled next to her in good fine order, like, you know, all arranged neatly and easily so that anyone could just pick it up. So, well, not anyone, but anyone skilled enough, trained enough, could just pick up a slice of bread immediately and then place 2 slices of bread next to each other. So you'd pick up a slice of bread in your left hand, a slice of bread in your right hand, place them down on a conveyor belt next to each other in parallel, and then that was the front end of the conveyor belt. So they stood at the end of the conveyor belt and did that. Then next it went through a roller where it would either apply mayonnaise or butter or some kind of light margarine spread. Not margarine, because margarine's illegal in Britain. But some sunflower spread, you know, like some vegetable oil spread. Would place it on a conveyor belt. So she would place bread on a conveyor belt, go under a roller that would apply whatever spread, mayonnaise, butter, some cheap thing, whatever. And then it would go to the first actual loading station, which was only like a foot further along. But you'd have like a huge crate of like either tomato or cucumber or whatever, sliced or pre-sliced in the preparation department, ready for use. But this huge punnet of them anyway, right next to you, all pre-sliced. So you would grab them with your bare hands, because we had to go through an absolutely amazing preparation. You were not allowed fingernails that were more than 0.5 millimeter long. You had to have your fingernails trimmed before you could even think about working there. Then in the pre-entry zone to the factory, because we were basically taught that making sandwiches was the equivalent of, kind of similar to surgery, except that sounds a bit exaggerated. But yeah, we were taught, we all had to undergo a mandatory food hygiene course where we were taught the difference between low risk foods and high risk foods. And a low risk food is a food that is going to be cooked or somehow later prepared and have some process applied to it that will kill germs. High-risk food is something that goes to the public, pre-packaged, ready to eat, and it has to be completely sterile before it even gets that far. And we were taught that we are making sandwiches that go pre-packed out to a shop that may not even have a good fridge or anything. So we are dealing with the highest risk foods, so we have to be entirely sterile to even be able to go near the ingredients. So first of all, you arrive in your normal clothes. First thing you have to do is you have to take off your shoes and you have to put on pre-sterilized Wellington boots or gum boots or rubber boots, whatever you want to call them, wherever you're in the world, what they're called. The next thing you have to do was you then went to your locker where your pre-sterilized overgown, smock, whatever, clean white smock, completely cleaned, would be in your locker, ready for you to take out. No, I tell a lie. Actually, no. The smocks actually they were. Yeah, we didn't have them in the lockers. It was the wellies we had in the lockers because we had to clean our own wellies. But the smocks, sorry, we had to get from the second room because the second room was you walked in after getting your wellies on, but still in your own clothes. You walked in and then you had to take off all your overclothes. And you grabbed a sterilized smock, which just smelt of chemicals, almost basically like bleach. You grabbed a smock of your size, and because I was a big fat boy, and I still am a big fat boy, it was a nightmare trying to find one my size. It was always a nightmare because a lot of people who work in sandwich factories, it turns out they like to eat the free sandwiches you get at the end of the day. And some of those sandwiches were 1,000 calories each. And so we all put on a lot of weight, but they didn't seem to realise that, all those big fat people working for your big fat sandwich factory, we need the big fat clothes as well. So they didn't get that. that memo was lost somewhere. But yeah, I mean, so we put on our smock no, we didn't put our smock on straight away, sorry. We then had to, before we got the smock from the hangers, coat hangers, we had to completely scrub our hands, and we would have hand inspection. They would watch us wash our hands. It was a 2-stage process. There was a soap, then there was a disinfectant. They would check our fingernails, even the slightest hint of dirt in our fingernails, and you were sent to scrub your hands again because you had to scrub them with hard brushes. Then you had to rinse your hands in soap, and then rinse them again in disinfectant. Yeah, it was quite harsh. Your hands would be brutalized by the time you'd done all this. Anyway, at some point in the process, I can't remember, before or after that, probably before actually, considering how dirty hair actually is, we had to put on hairnets and a cap. So we put on, I had a lot of hair then. I liked long hair, so I had to wear like 5 or 6 hairnets over my hair to keep it all in one place. Then we had to put on a cap. What was after? Sleeping. That was it. And then we had to put on a cap, which was probably the weak point in the system actually, because we were responsible for our own cap. We would even have to take our own cap home, and the colour cap you wore, it was actually colour coded for your level of seniority. So you got a light kind of purple cap. That was the entry level. You were in your first week or so. Then you progressed to the yellow cap, which is where you've been accepted that you could work there, but you then had to go through, what's it called now? When you trial a job and then decide after a trial period you can do it. Anyway, for the next 13 weeks you have to wear the yellow cap. And then finally, once you're accepted, after that you then advance to the white cap, and at white cap you then start to get full salary. And I'll talk about the salary. Well, it's not even a salary, it was a wage, in a minute. Then you got a white cap when you were fully accepted and you were on full pay in the payroll, etc. And then the seniors, they wore like white trilby hats, to designate that there were seniors. They were like line managers or higher managers, things like that. So these all went on top of the hairnets that were already restricting us. And if you had a beard, I didn't have a beard at the time. I've had a beard for years since then. But if you had a beard, you had to wear beard guards as well. So there was absolutely no risk of hair going anywhere near any of the products. That was I didn't understand it at first, but then we had to do the food hygiene course where basically we were taught that hair is disgusting. If you find a hair in your food, in your pre-prepared food, that food should be sent back. It should not be eaten because hair, of all parts of the human body, attracts the most germs. Like you would not believe. Hair is disgusting. Do not eat hair. Even if it's your own hair and you drop it in your own food, you're probably best advised to just not eat that food because. Oh, right. Well, I'm walking around now like a moron because I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go and plant the other sugarcane then, shall I? So yeah, do not eat hair. Do not allow hair to enter in your food system at any point. It is really, really bad for you, as we learned at food hygiene course. So yeah, by the time you actually get to then the next step you have to do, sorry, having already had to clean your own wellies, we would then had to basically walk through a giant vat of bleach that was kind of like high up on your ankles, about 8 inches high, about 20 centimeters high, of basically pure sodium hypochlorite bleach. To make sure that you were not walking any germs in from outside, to just ensure that no bugs of any kind, no infection, nothing contagious could get inside the factory. So basically, you were working in as close as possible a sterilized environment. It was almost as stringent as being a surgeon working on a real human in surgery. That is how stringent it was. So you hear a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't believe human hands touch my food before it's prepared." It's like, no. The human hands who were preparing your food, they have been scrubbed as if they were performing brain surgery or open heart surgery. We were no risk to anyone. Anyway, coming back to the point I originally made was, right, so the first person on the line put the bread on the line. They were standing at the end of the line. They put on the left side of the belt, they put one slice of bread on the right hand side of the belt, they put the other slice of bread. Goes onto the roller, get the butter, marge, mayo, put on it. Then you've got all these vats of ingredients. So if you were making a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, first thing that went on would be someone who had got just a load of sliced, pre-cooked, chilled bacon right next to them. So it was already prepared in the preparations department. I don't know. I only worked 2 days in the preparation department, so I don't know precisely how they operated. But we were provided with these tubs, and it was prepared, and everything was measured out. You had to put on precisely the exact specified amounts. You couldn't just say, "Oh, this slice of bacon looks a bit skinny, so I'll put an extra half of slice of bacon." No. If you were told it was 2 slices of bacon for this sandwich, you had to put on 2 slices of bacon on that sandwich, because otherwise you'd be in a lot of trouble. Other things like so the same applied with like tomato. So tomato, you'd put like a slice of tomato in each of the 4 corners, and it didn't matter how big or small slices of tomato you were handling were at the time. You put a slice of tomato in each of those corners. How do you make a piston? I need redstone and I need iron. Is that 28? No, I need 29. Each of the 4. Same we go with cucumbers, but then with lettuce was more pernickety because lettuce came basically shredded out of the preparation department, and so the lettuce was done by weight. So I seem to recall it was 30 grams of lettuce. It was either 30 or 25 grams of lettuce went on each of our sandwiches. Need redstone. Redstone's that, isn't it? And so occasionally what would happen is someone from quality control would watch you prepare a slice of sandwich and then ask you to prepare another slice of sandwich, but intercept the amount of shredded lettuce you were about to handle onto the. So you pick up a load of shredded lettuce in your hand, put it on a sandwich, and occasionally quality control would ask you, well, can you put the amount in your hand on my plate instead? They'd go away and weigh it, and if it was too little, they'd say you need to put more on. If it was too much, they'd tell you need to put more. Too little, they'd tell you to put more on. You get what I mean? Anyway, if you were putting on too much, they'd ask you to put less on. If they were putting on too little, they'd ask you to put more on. Sometimes, with more expensive ingredients rather than lettuce, they would actually have these pre-calibrated electronic scales, computerized as well. In quite advanced actually, really, from the 1990s. I don't know if it was particularly advanced, but basically it was. Yeah, you would have placed on some scales. You would have a big open tray of pre-cooked seasoned chicken in small chunks that you would then have to scoop up in your hand, and as you scooped it up, it was weighing how much you had taken out of the tray, and it would light up. It would give you like red, yellow, green for the right weight, and then again yellow if it was too much, and then red again for far too much. It would do that. So it would basically tell you if you'd taken out the right amount. So I the best obviously way of doing it was to take a massive scoop and then just gradually sprinkle the chicken back in until it said you'd taken the right amount out. And we'll get back to that in a second, that gradually sprinkling bit. So you do that and you would kind of learn the right amount to pick out eventually. And it would even tell you if over a longer period of time, if you were on average giving too little or too much of this ingredient. So it would say, yeah, each individual portion is within acceptable tolerances, just that over a longer period of time you are under providing the right amount. You're not putting the right amount. So it'll say average weight low, or if you are on average putting on too much, it'll say average weight too high. Now, all of this, right, sounds like at a nice sedate pace, you are making sandwiches and you are scooping up 4 slices of cucumber to put on each corner, and you go pop, 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 pop. Then another sandwich appears and you go pop, 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 pop. And you are like scooping up chicken in your hands and you go, oh, that's too much. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Oh, that's the right amount. I'll now put that on a sandwich. No, we would make 120 sandwiches per minute. So you had about... So no one person was doing the only job, to be clear. So you'd have about, depending on the complexity of the ingredient. So with cucumber and tomato, you would have 2 people doing that for 120 a minute. So you had 1 second to put your 4 slices of cucumber on, or 4 slices to put your slice of tomato on. With things like lettuce, you would have probably 3 or 4 lettuce people. And with chicken, where the precision, because I didn't realize at the time, but obviously the cost is the most important thing there. But you would not, the factory could not afford to put too much chicken on. So it would have 4 people working on these computerized ingredient weighers, would be the ones putting on the chicken. So 120 a minute, that gave you had to do 1 every 4 seconds. So you needed to be pretty accurate at your job even before they started talking about bonuses and stuff. But yeah, I didn't work there long enough to actually get into the bonus crowd, where it was kind of like, yeah, if we make enough sandwiches in the right amount of time, you get a bonus of how much time you saved us. But at the same time, I only got paid hourly. And this is where I'm coming back to, is this was in 1997, and my hourly wage back then, this was just before Labour had brought in the minimum wage laws. So my wage on first starting was £3.40 an hour. Now, that was for the first week. And then if you went on, that was for the purple hat period. Now, if I went on to the yellow hat period, I could then earn, as a teenager, the whopping amount of £3.70 an hour. Bearing in mind I was getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to arrive there at 4 o'clock in the morning for a 4:30 start, because you had to be cleaned and ready and on the line, ready to work at your starting time, rather than accepting the fact that, you know, the half an hour cleaning yourself period that was mandatory should have been paid employment, and these days is paid employment. You cannot force people to not be paid for your mandatory requirements. But anyway, ignoring that, I was getting then £3.70 an hour. And if I ever advanced to the white hat stage, then I would get the massive sum of £4.20 an hour. £4.20 an hour. Now, during the time that I worked there, someone just decided they didn't like me. So whenever I would clock in and clock out accurately and reliably at exactly the right times, but for some reason they decided that they didn't like me. So no matter what time I clocked in, they would mark down my clock card and say that I'd actually arrived 10 minutes later, because I don't know how they imagined that I could clock in 10 minutes earlier than I'd actually clocked in. I didn't have any friends there, because my friend Martin, who got me the job, he left within a few weeks of me starting, because he realised this was a terrible flipping job, because we were getting up at the crack of dawn on a Sunday to do a really low paid job, because there was no wage control. We were almost everyone there, apart from managers. But almost everyone there was a teenager. The managers, the line managers, now I look back on it, they were no older than 20. They just looked older because they got facial hair. But they were no older than 20, 23, 24. It was only really the senior managers who really had any kind of experience and any kind of age to them. And we never learned how much they were earning, of course, because why would you teach you grunts how much you pay yourselves? But anyway, yeah, £4.20 an hour is the maximum I could get. But for some reason, someone took a disliking to me and decided that I was not worth £4.20 an hour. So even though I've worked there for my 13-week trial period and worn the yellow hat the whole time, they said, no, you need to do another 13-week trial period. I'm like, all right, fine. But that was the point where I was like, well, if you're not going to pay me for being here, for having stuck it out for 13 weeks, I'm just going to carry on working at a trial period rate. And after about 9 months, a senior manager was like, Ronnie, you've been here now for months and months and months. Why are you still wearing a yellow hat? And I said, well, because I'm only getting £3.70 an hour. And they were like, oh, but that's automatic. It's an automatic thing where you get the higher wage. I was like, well, I haven't been getting the higher wage, and I was told that I still had to wear the yellow hat. Anyway, within about a week, I suddenly found myself, I was given the massive sum of £20 back pay. Ooh, whoop-de-doo, £20 back pay for unpaid wages. And I was told I could finally wear a white hat. But anyway, the point where this story was first coming from was that what's 93 minus 25 is 73 minus 5, so I need to make 68. So 68 quarts will do it. 58 9 need some redstone. So anyway, the point I was coming to is these factories, right? Yes, a lot of your things will all come from the same factory, but not necessarily at the same quality. So we would make sandwiches. We had 2 major contracts in our factory. We would make sandwiches for Boots, the chemists, pharmacy for Americans, but they also sold just general, average, normal day-to-day stuff as well, including sandwiches and meal deals and things like that. So we'd make sandwiches for Boots, and we'd also make sandwiches for Marks and Spencer, which is very top-end, high-end, very high-end supermarket at the time. I think it might still be now. I don't know. Follow supermarkets, things like that. So we would make sandwiches for both of them, and the sandwiches would be made by the same people on the same lines with the same equipment, same ingredients, except with the Marks and Spencer's one, we put an extra half a slice of bacon on. An extra half a slice of bacon went on the Marks and Spencer sandwich. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to make another 8. Oh yes, because I wanted 68, not 58, not 60. We put extra half a slice of bacon on the Marks and Spencer sandwich. So the Boots sandwich would then be printed with a label that said £2.50 on it. Marks and Spencer sandwich would go out with a label printed on it saying £4 on it. And the only difference was half a slice of bacon. So you could have bought, what, 2 Marks and Spencer sandwich and basically got the same as 3 Boots sandwiches, just for an extra 1.5 slices of bacon. And it basically taught me that the price of things in shops do not relate to how much they cost to make. They relate to how much people are prepared to pay for them and how much retailers are prepared to think they can get away with charging for them. Because ostensibly, the Marks and Spencer sandwich was identical to the cheaper Boots sandwich, apart from half a slice of bacon. Yeah. So I don't trust retail prices now. They just wind me up knowing that actually the per unit cost will have been fractional. Because on our line, we'd on average have about 20 people making sandwiches. So 20 people being paid, just call it, including on costs, £5 an hour. So 20 people being paid £5 an hour. That's £100 an hour to make sandwiches at a rate of 120 a minute. So that's 60 minutes. 120 times 60, well, that's 7,200. No, it's 720. No, 7,200 sandwiches per hour at a cost of £100 in staff costs. Probably not a lot more in actual material costs. Even if the material costs were 10 times as much, that'd be £1,000 plus £100 in staff costs, even though we know the staffing costs loads more. So that's £1,100 to make 7,200 sandwiches. Yeah, the average cost of the sandwich is about... Oh, no. It's, yeah, about 70 pence each to make a sandwich. Yeah. Right, let's get some... even with the more expensive ones, with, let's say, an extra 20 pence of ingredients, about 90 pence each to make. So, yeah. Don't get ripped off. Go and get your sandwiches from a cheaper shop, because they're made in the same place, by the same people, with the same ingredients, getting paid the same amount of money. That's just life, isn't it? And on all that ranting, I've actually almost basically nearly finished making this sugarcane factory. I've been ranting about factories, and I've now made a sugarcane factory in my rant space. And now no sugarcane can even escape. That's good. That is good. That is sehr gut. And they're all chuffing off to bed. We should have nothing in here. Yeah. But this should now be loaded. Now, the next time he comes through, I need to grab him to make sure he's not actually harbouring. No. To make sure he's not actually harbouring any illicit ingredients. No, he's got no ingredients as well. They've all discharged. Excellent. Why is there so little of it? Where are they all? Where are all the ingredients then? Am I just... Have I already cleared out a load of sugarcane and not realised it? Because there does not appear to be any stuck anywhere. No, so it is working. That's working, that's working. That's working. That's working. That's working, that's working. That's working. That's working. That's working. Yeah, so that's just how much there is. So logically, somewhere, there is a load of sugarcane that I didn't realise already. Yes, it's there. So, all that remains really for me to lighten this up, really. Let's do every other block. Yes, because we now have a spitter in there already. Do not shoot me. Gone in ore. Thank you. Plop, 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 plop. Plop, 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 plop. Plop, 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 plop. Yes, you. Oh, I didn't mean to jump down here. Because now I can't get out. Right. So the automatic sugarcane bit of it is now done. It's now just the automatic crafty bit of it that needs to be done. Okay. Well, that feels like that is a problem for future running. As I previously explained, I've been using that expression for nearly 25 years. I have not ripped it off from anyone. Yes, so that is an automatic sugarcane farm. That is built, it is automatic, it makes sugarcane, and it's automatic. What is not yet automatic is turning the sugarcane into anything useful. Yes, I may have to, I mean, I suppose I've got loads of space here. I may have to just work on the system for crafting. I don't know. I will worry about that, though, in the next episode, because this has now been an hour and 10 minutes of me ranting about sandwiches and making a sugarcane farm. And I feel like I've been successful at doing both, whilst achieving very little. So, take care, and wow! Don't forget to dislike and unsubscribe. Wow. Wow. Save and quit. Quit it now. 29th of January. Is that the day that the Beatles did the rooftop concert? I don't know. Oh well.